Okay, so in this lecture, again, I'm going to talk about a prompting strategy. There is something called as few shot prompting with a context. So here, as I have mentioned the topic name, so I'm going to talk about a few short prompting. Again, not tough to understand. It's a very, very easy to understand. So let's suppose I'm working with this example, the example which I have already shown it to you. So let me copy this cell and here, so let me paste it, right? So it's a same example. Let's suppose I'm talking about, let me convert this into a Python. Yeah. So so here, this is basically a prompt which I'm trying to give. I can try to give a prompt with an example. This is the meaning of a few short prompting. Few short prompting means, so basically you are trying to add a example Q&A based on the similar retrieval. So you are trying to give an example that, okay, fine, so try to give me an answer, but consider this particular example and then only try to give me the answer. For example, so here maybe I can try to add this one inside my prompt. Let me show you separately. So maybe I can try to add this particular part inside the prompt. And let me close it with a triple quote. Yeah. So here, okay. So this is a new kind of a prompt which I have built. So here, context document, LangGraph allows building a agentic workflow using a graph technology. Again, question, what is LangGraph? LangGraph is a Python library for building an agent based on the state machine from a LLM. Now, what does LangGraph enable? So it enables a structured agent workflow. Now answer, how is LangGraph different from a Lang chain, right? So here, as you can see that I'm trying to give a question and I'm trying to give an answer. And I'm trying to say that, okay, try to consider this as an example. And again, in the exact similar manner, try to give me an output. Whenever you're trying to chat with a chat GPT or maybe any other LLM provider, you can try to experiment even this particular part, that whenever you are trying to send a prompt, always and always try to give some sort of an example that I'm looking for this kind of output, I'm looking for that kind of output. For example, so here maybe I can try to show you with respect to the Yuri API system. Let me open up my Yuri chat system basically. Yeah. So here maybe I'm going to ask some question. So give me an example of Python calculator implementation. Yeah, implementation. So obviously it is going to give me like a output with respect to the Python calculator, a simple calculator, right? Now, so in the same prompt, maybe I can try to give a couple of instruction that try to give me this function in this way, that function in that way, and that will become a few short prompting. So this is just a plain simple question which I have asked, and yeah, it has given me the answer. But let's suppose if I'm going to ask that give me this implementation with maybe I can say that give me this implementation with modular code and keep all the file separate, maybe something like this. I've just given a little bit of more instruction. So now it will start giving me a modular code, as you can see. So it has created a main.py, operator.py, calculator.py. It is trying to separate all of my code. So my prompt is going to change a lot. The way we are extracting an answer, the way we are extracting an output, it depends, or it depends a lot on the prompting strategy that we are going to adopt. Doesn't matter whether we are going to generate an image. So let's suppose if I'm trying to generate an image, right? I'm going to write over here that try to generate an image. So I've selected the image part and give me a YouTube thumbnail for RAG application building, right? RAG application building, and use a theme, use a flavor of uh, Netflix. So let's see, right? So it is going to generate a YouTube thumbnail for me, and obviously I'm expecting that it should use a Netflix kind of a theme. So I'm trying to give an example that, okay, fine. So try to take a reference of this, reference of that, and then try to give me the final output. So even in, so it will try to take some time and it will generate the image. I'll come back to this part. But here, so this is something which I'm trying to give. So I'm trying to give a question, I'm trying to give an answer. So more example, if you are going to give, so more exact and more accurate your final outcome is going to be. Let me show you a couple of more example with respect to the same thing. Yeah. So here, let's suppose I'm going to write something like this. Question. Yeah. So context, what is the goal of a system? To generate a structured answer for a document. How are the document used? They are used to ground the response. And again, question, what happens if the document are irrelevant? So I'm trying to give some example, right? I'm trying to give an example of a question and answer. And I'm saying that, okay, fine, this is my question. Now try to give me an answer. So obviously, if I'm trying to suggest, if I'm trying to give some sort of a instruction with respect to an example, that is something called as few short prompting. Yeah, few short prompting. And when I'm talking about the RAG application, so yeah, see, it has given me a image, right? It has given me a image, build a React app. Okay. So RAG I have mentioned, but maybe it was not able to understand, but yes, it is trying to use a Netflix theme, and based on the Netflix theme, it is trying to give me an answer. So I have just simply given the example. If I'm like a video on RAG, the image has generated, you can view thumbnail to video on RAG application building. It's not RAG, by the way, it's a React app. It has mentioned, but yeah, maybe I'll have to like give some sort of a detailed prompt, then only it will be able to generate a proper answer. But what I'm trying to teach you over here is that what is the meaning of a few short prompting? And few short prompting simply means that give everything with the example. Simple. And if I'm talking about the RAG application, obviously context must be mentioned. Context means whatever document that I'm trying to retrieve, that must be mentioned. So hope all of you are able to understand what is the meaning of a few short prompting. This is again one of the strategy that we all try to follow while doing a prompting to a LLM.